Hi there. Thank you for everybody for registering. I'm sorry that you had to wait. I had a client meeting that went from 1 hour to 2 hours, and there's still more to go. Um, it's always I always get very passionate and worked up about talking about direct bookings. Philip will join us in just a minute. He's going to show you something that's very different from most webinars that I've seen. Great, and here he is. Specifically, he's going to show you techniques, uh, what he did, what the results were, and what that looks like across his client segments um, in a very quick 2 minute segment per each technique. And that's it's not advice. It's where the rubber meets the road. So Philip, can you hear me?
Good morning, Jeremiah. Sorry, I had some issues with the connection, but I'm on now.
Excellent, great. Okay, I was just introducing you. Also, if for anybody that doesn't know Philip, let me take a moment to tell you about his background. You're a third generation hotelier with hotel owning parents on both sides, 10 years in the travel tech industry, and 150 awards to your name. Very well done. Show us these awards. What earned you these awards? What are the techniques that got you there?
Okay, I'm going to take a few minutes to show you. I think it will take maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
You can obviously interrupt me if you have any questions, ideas. I think we have to collaborate as much as possible to do well on this challenging topic. Okay.
Perfect. And
So
I will be watching the chat box. If anybody has questions as we go through, ask them, and I will ask Philip.
okay, so
Take it away.
I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, in a second. Okay, and I'm going to. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah, that's clear.
Okay, so I'm going to jump. This is the whatever the base, the initial title slide. So I'm going to go directly to the problem and the challenge. Okay, and I think we have touched many times these problems. I think this is the biggest challenge. Like a successful direct strategy depends on so many factors, from website design, from logo design, from usability, from the rate strategy, products, I don't know, location. There's so many things going on. So it's kind of like a complex environment. So I'm going to try to make it very simple, because I see a lot of people in the field, in the industry, they create complexity, and I think that's not good for. Maybe it's good for the Hyatts or the Hiltons of the world, but for independent hotels, it's actually a challenge, right? Because they have a lot of things on their plate. Okay.
Exactly. This is not about advice. This is about this is what we did.
Exactly. So we've done, and I'll show you. I'll try to back up the tips and tricks that I've created or that I'm showing with some data. So it's more. It creates a better case here. Okay. So let's go to the first one. Okay. Who's the genius? Obviously, I'm trying to be a little bit funny here, but as you know, Booking.com has a genius rate that they try to promote with their hotels and their guests. And my question here is, if you are working with Genius at Booking.com, why don't you do the same at your website level? Okay. And this is actually an example. Okay, so I've created the Genius rate, or kind of a guest specific club rate at my booking engine. And actually, so I've looked at data, and this represented 8% of room nights in March. Okay, so it's actually an important, and it's not being worked, right? They could even do a better job on this, but just a simple uh, club promotion will represent 10% of the direct bookings. Okay, so I think this is really important. Now, if I want to go into the real problem, okay, I'm going to show real numbers of an hotel. Okay, so for the past 3 months, these are the booking the reservations done on the Booking.com channel. Okay, and we can see here that they had 1,389 bookings. Okay, this is kind of like a small hotel in a city center. Okay, they confirmed 540. So I divided here between confirmed and no parity. When I say no parity, I assume that this is Genius rate. So the hotel is giving 10% on top of their price. Okay, and this is a client that's using Channel Manager. So they are doing a 10% discount. So here you can see that in terms like 50% of the reservations that are coming from Booking.com are Genius. Okay, so you are actually paying on average maybe 28%, 27% to Booking.com instead of the typical 15%. Okay.
Mm. Wow.
So this is huge. Okay, so my first recommendation is like, okay, if you don't want to disconnect the Genius rate at Booking.com because it's very strict and they always take the best room, and they only allow you to close dates on very specific dates. Keep that service or that option at Booking.com, but try to compensate somehow at your website. Okay. There's actually another recommendation that I want to give, and I have a real hotel that they have done this. They are a little bit afraid to do changes at Booking.com, but we convinced them to do the change, and we had a very interesting result. So this is a 3 months period of time, and here you can see that 31% said they had 31% of cancellations. Okay, so this is huge, right? So this is a very complex problem to solve in terms of operation, because if people keep canceling, especially with very aggressive cancellation policies, suddenly, I don't know, 2 days before you close the day, you have X number of people, at least 30% of the bookings are canceled, the bookings that are coming from Booking.com. Okay, so a recommendation would be on Booking.com just to do non-refundable rates, okay, or offers. That's an option. I've seen it working, and it has a huge impact, obviously, on the number of bookings and the operation side. Okay, I don't know if you want to comment on any of this. You see 44% of the rates of the bookings that are made on Booking.com they come from Genius rates. So they are actually cheaper. So instead of like 70%, you are paying maybe, I don't know, 29, 28% if you add the taxes, etc.
Right. Who's the genius in this equation?
Yeah,
Booking.com.
obviously. So I think they named they gave a good name to to their program. Okay.
To themselves. It's a
So
big problem for hotels. At least you're saying they should, if nothing else, at least offer it on your own website so you're not paying the commission
correct, correct,
or the discount.
correct.
Yeah.
Going on, this is another example of features, functionalities that we are creating on our platform. So what we are doing, like the basic concept is we need to look at the funnel. We need to push people into the funnel. So with this functionality, we call this shopping cart activation. We are actually creating urgency so people book online. Okay, so we are showing, okay, how many people stayed at my hotel, how many reservations I had on the last 24 hours. Okay, official website, best rate guarantee. So we are trying to create urgency, And actually, if we go, I think the numbers speak for themselves. So shopping cart activation, this is 2017. So we managed to push 128 room nights into the funnel. Okay. And I think this is good. And obviously, you can say, oh, it's not relevant if you look at the number of reservations in room nights of the website. But everything counts, right? So if you use not only one, but a few of these techniques, suddenly they represent 10 or 20 or 30% of direct bookings. Okay. So it's,
So really, I have a question. If you go back to the last slide, so you're saying that somebody clicked on the green square,
exactly.
right? So they weren't really clicking on a book now button, but they were really clicking more on the, hey, prices are higher than normal for the period, last reservation 4 hours, availability is decreasing rapidly for the date selected. They click on that,
Exactly.
and that's the information. Okay.
Yeah. So we are bringing e-commerce elements and pushing and these are dynamic, right? So we are pushing them. This is real data. 18 reservations were made in the last 24 hours. So we are creating urgency so people go to the pipeline or to the
Mm-hmm.
funnel. Okay.
Great.
And in general terms, we are seeing an increase between 15 to 20% in direct bookings. Okay. This is just to show you this specific hotel that I took this statistics. This is another one. Okay, this is a little bit more aggressive, and we call this the shopping cart recovery technique. Okay, so what we are trying to do is, I don't know, let's say that you have a conversion ratio of 10% at your booking engine. Um, Actually, it's very good. So 90% of the people leave. So you want to make sure you capture those 90%. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So can you mute Jeremiah because
Oh, you're right. I'm echoing. Okay. Go ahead.
so this is really interesting because we are telling, hey, don't leave my booking engine. We'll give you a special offer if you if you want. I can give you something. You understand? Doesn't mean it's value, right? Doesn't mean that's price. It could be I don't know, a welcome drink. It could be a bicycle. I don't know. There's so many options there. Okay, so this is really interesting in this specific case. Okay, we saved, and I think this is actually saved, right? Because we managed to get them. Because what we do is when we prompt the user, hey, give me your email that I'll give you a promotion, we'll send them an email, a nice email with a link to that specific promotion that they only have access to that. Okay, so in this specific case, we saved in a way 167 room nights. Okay, using this technique. Okay, I don't know if you have any questions regarding this. It's kind of like very simple, but it's very sophisticated. There's no many players in the industry that use this technique.
I do have a question. A lot of people think that pop-ups are annoying. So can you tell everybody a little bit about how you can adjust the settings?
Okay, so this is not. So there's actually a few settings to control these pop-up mechanisms. Okay, so I'm looking at so we look at the cookies. So we look at if the person visit the website more than one time, if so there's I think 3 or 4 uh, activation mechanisms. One is on exit. So let's say you can say, okay, the first person that will go, or if someone goes to my website or my booking engine one time and they leave, show them a box. Hey, we have an offer for you. So you can even set, okay, on the third time giving him a pop up. Okay, or you can tell, okay, if they stayed more than 5 minutes without moving, just show them that. So there's a different triggers to this functionality. so it doesn't become something a little bit too much. Do you understand? And obviously, some hotels say, "Oh, we don't want to be very intrusive," so obviously there's the option to disable this functionality. Okay, but across, and this is not just us, right? If you go to Amazon, if you go to New York Times, if you go to the Economy, I don't know, all these big e-commerce outlets, they use this technique, right? So it's something that it's proved that it works. Okay. Um, this is another type of widgets that we are working on, and the main objective is to accelerate the sales funnel. Okay, so if you look at your sales funnel, you want to make sure people go fast and they convert. It's like a typical sales process, right? You want them to go uh, with the least complexity possible into the sales process. This is something that we are creating. So it's a widget that resides on the accommodation page. So if you have I don't know, room type X, okay, and below the nice picture and description of the room type, you can have this is actually kind of a mini booking engine or a booking engine widget, okay, that will tell real time what's the availability for the dates, and you can actually go ahead and select the dates. Okay, so you can jump, you can see, okay, this is not available. You can do the selection, check in and check out, and from here you can do the reservation. Okay, it's very to the point. Okay, and I think this is really important. It really works well with specific room types or with specific promotions, because sometimes promotions are very they are oriented to a specific group of people, so it works well. So when we do this, we remove all the complexity of all the room types and the cancellation and sorry, all the room types and other promotions and offers, and we just push this selection that he has done. Okay. I think this is again bringing elements of e-commerce to the website, and in this case, we are trying to accelerate the sales funnel and remove complexity. Okay. This is another one that we also do. And for instance, when you select a special rate, let's say super deal here, if you click on the super deal, most systems will show, okay, now here are all my promotions, and you see the super deal, you see the just for you see the cheers to love. So you see all of the promotions available. On this specific case, we push people into the funnel, but we remove all the complexity. Again, we want to make sure people go to the end, and I think every step is a step. So we want to make sure they go quickly to the end. Okay, so it's a statistics game. Okay, so we have seen again a lift of 25 to 50%. This is more generic, so it's very difficult for me to pinpoint and show an example. But the usability rules push into this direction. Okay.
Hey, Philippe, I had a question about the shopping cart recovery.
Okay.
When somebody gives you their email, for example, and you give them, let's say, a special rate, can you make the rate only good for the next 5 days, for example?
You can't. That's actually you can't. So it will be an open rate. Obviously, you can
Okay,
close for specific dates. You understand? Um,
right.
but you can't.
Maybe a specific offer, but
Yeah,
not specific to when that email was delivered.
no.
Okay,
But so there's no relationship between the offer and the date that was sent. That's a great feature, but um, uh, so it's something that definitely we should add. Okay.
good
But
one,
I
Kimberly.
think that the challenge now is we want hotels to use, right? So just um, adding more complexity, it creates a lot of issue. I don't know. It creates complexity on the development process, and then you end up not you don't have people using it. Okay, so it's always the challenging. Oh, it's always challenge to see, okay, what's interesting to develop or not.
Yeah, simplicity first, right?
Correct. Oops, sorry. Something happened with my presentation here. Okay. So we've talked about this pushing people into the booking engine, just showing their special promotions, remove all the complexity. Okay. This is a little bit different, right? So this is more like, so we can give functionalities to the hotel so they can connect on a modern way with the consumer. Okay, so it's not doesn't have any impact on the funnel or sales process, but you can actually upsell, cross sell, etc. So we call it Hotel Messenger. Okay, and what we do, it's when we send a confirmation email, and this is the nice confirmation email that we send to a new for a new reservation. The users can, from their system, they can click chat now and instantiate a chatting process, okay, a chat process like you have on LinkedIn or Facebook. You understand? So it's not real time. You kind of create a chat that will be saved to the guests and to the hotel. Okay, and this is more like a communication platform. Obviously, you can tie this with marketing and the sales process, but it's more like an operational project. Okay. Um,
I think that's incredibly important for international travelers. Um, they can't call you during your office hours so many times. So
yes,
that's a good.
and I've seen like interesting because I've sometimes I've browsed through the chats, and sometimes you see, okay, like I'm at the airport, where's the bus that I should get to find your hotel? Do you understand? What's the best way to get to your hotel? Jeremiah?
Yeah, I'm here. I was just muted. Oh, I completely agree. I believe that service and hospitality begins when the person leaves their house, not when they arrive in the hotel.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
so this helps. This being very helpful.
Exactly. And we are actually, so this is kind of like the first step of the process. We want to push this type of communication with the guest and create messages like, okay, uh, there's availability on our jacuzzi suite. Do you want to upgrade for $10 a day? Do you understand? So creating all these messaging mechanism, it's also important for the sales, or it will be important for the sales process. Okay.
Perfect.
And this is it. So these are like the techniques that I wanted to show, and I didn't want to make this a long presentation. Um, from our experience, this represents a lift in 30 to 50% in room nights. And we have many, I don't know, many clients. So if you are interested, uh, I can show you some real data and see the how the functionality could help you. Okay.
Well, perfect. Do we have any questions from anybody? Well, and Philippe, thank you so much for putting together this presentation. Is there any way you could put it into a PDF so I can save it or send it to people
Sure.
if they want to see anything more?
Sure. So I'll create a PDF and all my contacts are here. So if you have any questions, please feel free to call me or to email me. That
Perfect.
my objective is to help you get more direct bookings.
That's what it's all about. Well, perfect. It's 10:30, even though we started late. We ended on time. I hope that's something. Thank you so much, Philip. Thank you for everybody for joining, and looking forward to talking with you soon.
Okay. Thank you so much and have a great day. Thanks. Bye. Bye.
Bye now.